Hello everyone, today is November 24th, 2017, Black Friday. I'm not out shopping, but I wanted to talk to everybody about some books from this year, later part of this year that you may want to invest in, as well as some upcoming books in 2018 that look like good bets to increase in value. Just remember with comic books, right? Spend only what you can afford to spend. Don't go crazy in debt thinking that you're going to buy a book today for $3 and it's going to be worth $1 million in a year, because it's just not going to happen. Only buy what you enjoy to buy, what you like, because there's so many books coming out. If you try to buy every book thinking it's going to go up in value, then you're going to go broke. I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think are good bets. Whether or not they are, who knows? Don't write me or send me nasty comments saying you bought this book because I told you to and it didn't go up in value. Do your own research and spend wisely, people. Remember, this is just my opinion. Anyways, first couple I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some image titles and some independent titles that I bought. The first couple, they actually came out. This one came out in September of 2016, which I'm sure a lot of you are aware of. Seven to Eternity. That is, it's gone up a bit. It's come down. It's cooled off a bit. So it's one of those books where you can pick it up a little cheaper than you could 6 months ago. There's only 9 issues in the run. I think they're going to start a new story arc in 2018. I could be wrong on that, but the thing you got to remember with these books, if you get a great artist and a good writer, or great artist and a great writer, then potential down the road, it could be picked up as a movie or TV show or something. So anyways, that's a good one to think about. Reborn #1, that came out again last year, or sorry, I think this one was October 2016. So that's last year. Thing with Reborn is Mark Millar is the writer. Greg Capullo is the artist, who is a great artist. Millar World, which is great, and Mark Millar's company, was bought out by Netflix, I guess about a month or two ago. And Millar World, as you may or may not know, was Kick-Ass, which has been made into movies and a bunch of other titles. So there is a chance down the road that Reborn, something may happen with that. I don't know. You can still pick up #1 pretty cheap. They're only maybe $10. So, and I'm in Canada, so $10 Canadian is like $2 American. Another one it's an older title as well, but again, it's Mark Millar's Millar World, Empress. It's a 7-issue series, and the 6 to 7 issues is perfect length for a movie. So it's a total speculation one. Again, these are really cheap right now. Pick those up. Anyways, that's it for the older ones. Well, I shouldn't say that. I got one more. This is God Country. It came out early this year. I think it was January. Another great title. And good storyline. Only 6 issues, if I remember right, in that storyline, which is perfect length for a movie. So who knows? Give it a shot. It's a little more expensive. That one you're going to pay a little bit for, but not super crazy. A couple image titles, or a couple more image titles, I should say. The Old Guard. That's a good one to invest in. It's gone up a little bit, but it's still cheap enough that you could pick it up, pretty reasonably. And there are only 5 issues in that series. Nice thing with this one is that it's a low print run. Most of the image titles are actually low print runs. And if anybody's not aware, you can go on to a website. I'll try and put a link in the video, but there's a website called Comicron. So COMICHRON.com, and it will show you print runs for all the titles, which come from Diamond Distributing, who's the main comic distributor. So you'll get an idea of print run, because the lower the print run, obviously, if it's a hot comic or a new character or something, the value is going to be more. So it'll give you an idea of print runs. I got a couple independent ones that came out later in the year. This one's July. Sisters of Sorrow from Boom Studios. Kurt Sutter, the writer, he's the one behind Sons of Anarchy. And if you watched that, that was a pretty decent show. So that's one you may want to pick up. Again, it's still pretty cheap. And the last one, independent one I have is Dead of Winter. That just came out a few months ago. Kind of a zombie apocalypse sort of thing, but it's a good title. I like it, and there's a good chance that one may be coming out as a show down the road. Again, you know what? These are cheap, really cheap books, and if you like the story, you enjoy reading it, and it doesn't go up in value, great. You know what? You got a good comic, but there is a chance these may go up, so worth a shot. Next, I'm going to do some Marvel titles. Now, Amazing Spider-Man. You're like, wow, that's been out forever. Why would I want to buy that? Well, great character, obviously. And coming up in December, they are doing a Venom Amazing Spider-Man crossover. And from the reviews I've read, it's, you know, it's not bad. It's no Doomsday Clock storyline, but it's pretty good. The good thing is, in that storyline, they will be introducing a new character called Maniac. So if you aren't buying Amazing Spider-Man or Venom, I would recommend you buy, again, this is my opinion, but there's a Venom Alpha, Venom Incorporated Alpha, comes out beginning of December, and the crossover runs between a couple Venom and Spider-Man issues, and then concludes with a Venom Omega. So there's 2 one-shots at either end of the crossover between Venom and Amazing Spider-Man. So that's something you're going to want to look at. Definitely picking those up. This one just came out recently, Spider-Man 234. It's the Sinister Six Reborn. The original Sinister Six was in Spider-Man Annual number 1 from 1963. So, being that they're kind of redoing the Sinister Six, and there was rumors of a Sinister Six movie a few years back, that's one that may go up, who knows. As mentioned earlier, there's that Spider-Man Venom crossover. So, and the Venom movie coming out next year, something you may want to look at. Spider-Gwen 25, that's first full appearance of the Venomized Spider-Gwen. It's one that may go up a little bit. I'm sure everybody's aware of this next set. Actually, I'm going to move these out of the way. Weapons of Mutant Destruction. The whole Weapon H. That's a one-shot that came out. That was in August. At least that's sort of cover date anyways. But it might have been June, but it's a one-shot that started the whole Weapons of Mutant Destruction storyline. Then that crossed over between Weapon X and Totally Awesome Hulk. So you've got Weapon X Prelude, that's Weapon X number 4. And then you have Part 2 in Totally Awesome Hulk number 20. And Part 3 in Weapon X number 5. Totally Awesome Hulk 21 is Part 4. Weapon X number 6 was Part 5. And then the conclusion with Totally Awesome Hulk 22. There are 2 printings of this one. First print has the green title in it. Second printing has the blue title. So if you are going to invest in this comic, this is one where it's the first full appearance of Weapon H, who is going to have his own comic coming. Marvel's announced in March of 2018 there will be a Weapon H comic coming out. So you definitely want to pick this one up. This one's gone up in value a bit. That's probably in the $40 to $50 range right now. In near mint, obviously. So, do you want to spend that money or not? I don't know. I would. I've got a few copies already. I don't need any more, but I would recommend. That's one you want to think about, because down the road, that's a character. Obviously, Hulk and Wolverine. They're gonna probably. I could see that one being in a movie. So, roll the dice. See what you think. The storyline continued on in Weapon X. So it became the hunt for Weapon H. So we've got number 7. You got Weapon X number 8. Hope the glare's not too bad there, people. You got number 9. You got number 10. And then you got the conclusion of that hunt for Weapon H in number 11. And I don't want to ruin the story if you haven't read it, but the end of number 11 definitely leaves it as what happens to Weapon H. And guess what? He's going to have his own series in March. So those are titles you're going to want to, I recommend you pick up, just because that's one of those key characters that they don't come along every day. And even these, if you can't afford 22, even these other books, the Weapon X series with the crossover, it's something that'll go up over time. So anyways, that's it for Marvel. Now we've got some DC books. I'm going to start with one I think is going to go up in a little bit. It's Batman number 35 in the current series, but it's actually the 800th issue. And that is, you can't go wrong with Batman. If you're not buying Batman, I don't know why you're not, but pick up the Batman. And the nice thing with DC, their cover price are only $2.99, so pretty reasonable. I mean, you can't go wrong with Batman. Over the run of Batman, you're always going to get a few keys that pop up in there. And right now, as I mentioned in my previous video, with the whole Doomsday Clock merging Watchmen into the DC universe, and then you've got Dark Knights. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you never know what's going to pop up. So, and this is another one too. I mentioned this in my previous video. Action 992, getting close to 1,000 issues. Something you're really going to want to pick up, because like I was saying, I really think they're going to somehow cross over that Doomsday Clock with Action Comics for the 1,000th issue. Could be wrong on that, but that's just my opinion. And these are another ones you're going to want to get. I showed these in my previous video. Doomsday Clock number 1. You've got all the different covers. New characters are introduced in this, and again, it's one of those titles where you don't realize it at the time, but years from now, you're going to look back and realize that it was a pretty big deal, because it's merging the two universes together. And going forward, there's going to be a lot of titles and stories that are going to point back to these and use characters from these. So these are books you're going to want to get. Already gone to second printing too. So next set of books. More DC. It's the whole, I know these have been out for a little while, but Dark Days, The Forge. These are one-shots that started the whole Dark Knights title run. You got the casting. Hope that's showing up okay. This is metal foil covers. They really reflect the light. You've got Metal number 1, Metal number 2. And Metal number 2 is a title you're going to want to pick up, because it actually is the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. It's just a cameo on the last page, like it's a splash 2-page, and so it is technically his first appearance. I'll show you his first full appearance in a minute. But if you haven't got Metal number 2, you're probably going to want to buy that one. And if you have it, pick up a couple extra copies, because they're pretty reasonable right now. Metal number 3, Greg Capullo. Man, he's good artwork. Anytime you get Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo collaborating on a title, it's one you're gonna, you're gonna want to buy it. So, anyways, all the actually, I'm gonna move this out of the way. All the one-shot one-shots as far as the Dark Knights go, you're going to want to get those. They're going up in value already. That's the first, and make sure you get the first prints, because there are second prints. I don't know if that's showing. Oh yeah, the glare is pretty bad. Anyways, that's Batman Red Death. Trying to do these in order here. You got Batman Murder Machine. Then you got Batman Dawnbreaker. Batman the Drowned. Batman Merciless, Batman Devastator, Batman Lost, and Batman Who Laughs. All these books, Red Death being the first one, it's gone up a fair amount already, and it's, like I say, it's most of these are all second printing already. Batman Who Laughs, obviously, that's the real, kind of the hot one right now, and definitely one you're going to want to pick up if you haven't got it. So there's a few of those. And last but not least, again, this is a tie-in to the whole Dark Knights thing. So this is Teen Titans number 12. That is the first full appearance of Batman Who Laughs. There's two titles, or two covers for that one. There's the regular and the variant. Those are books you're going to want to get. Again, first appearance of anybody, death of somebody, you know, whatever. First issue of a hot comic. Obviously, are the hot things to get. First full appearance, Batman Who Laughs. Can't really go wrong with that. I think that one's definitely going to go up over the years. So if you haven't got it, if you only had a few dollars, you want to buy one comic this year that down the road is you're pretty sure is going to go up in value, that's a good one. The print run on this actually isn't too high. It's only, having looked on that site, that comic run I was talking about earlier, I'm pretty sure it was under 60,000, which sounds like a lot, but in the comic world, that's, I think it's about 57,000 copies, and that includes both covers. That's one that's a good one to get. So that's the first one, and that's the first part of the Gotham Resistance. Second part to that was Nightwing 29. Then you've got Suicide Squad number 26. There are variants for all of these as well. I've got them all, but I don't think I need to show you all those. And Gotham is the final finale for that. And again, that's Green Arrow number 32, the last one. And again, Batman Who Laughs. That whole run is got the Batman Who Laughs in it, and just hot character. That's going to go up over the years, so good one to buy. Next up, there was this continuation, the metal tie-ins. There was that first 4-issue run, and then the second 4-issue run was Bats Out of Hell. So part 1 of that is Flash number 33, and that's got the Red Death in it. Cool character. I like that. I really like that character, so that's a good book to pick up. The second part to that was Bats Out of Hell part 2, Justice League 32. And then Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps was issue number 32 is part 3. And then the conclusion finale was Justice League number 33 for that Bats Out of Hell. So there's 8 tie-ins in total and variants for each. So the first 4, the Gotham Resistance with Batman Who Laughs. I mean, Batman Who Laughs is in these as well, but kind of that first set that's a good one to get. So that's pretty much it for like late in the year books that I'm really looking at. As far as research goes, there's a few sites you want to look at. CBR.com is a good one that gives you some good info on upcoming comics and whatnot. There's a ton of sites out there. I mean, I don't know. Another thing you want to do is pick up these preview books if you can. Most comic shops will have them. If you buy enough books, they'll give them to you for free because they know you're spending money in their store, and you'll keep spending money. If you're only going in there buying 1 or 2 books, you might have to buy it. I think they're about $5. Again, that's in Canada, so like say in the States, it's probably about 10 cents. The nice thing about these is they show you what's coming up a few months down the road. As an example, this is one book I'm going to recommend you pick up in early 2018 is Spawn 282. Release date is January 24th. And why would you want to buy that? You say, well, the nice thing about these books is they'll tell you, what's coming up in it. It says this issue marks the introduction of a new character soon to have its own Image comic book. So gee whiz, do you think that'd be a good investment? Yes. So pick that up. Cover price $2.99. Introducing a new character who's going to have their own book. It's a good bet that's going to go up. So buy those, read through them, do some research. A couple more titles I'd recommend. Actually, I'll leave that there so you got something to look at. Actually, you know what? I'll pull these in. I have been collecting for a long time, so these are books I bought back in the day, and yeah, I thought they were pretty good investments. Got a few more. I'll have to do a video on a bunch of books I bought over the years. So you got a few new DC titles coming out in January. There's Sideways #1, Damage #1. There's a Swamp Thing Winter Special #1. That's coming out January 31st. That's one I'm going to be picking up. These are all books I'm picking up, by the way, guys. I'm not saying you have to buy them, guys and girls. Not saying you have to buy them, but you know what? That's what I'm buying. There's another Dark Knight one-shot. It's Dark Knight's Rising, The Wild Hunt #1. That comes out February. Batman and the Signal. That comes out January 3rd. That's another one-shot. Obviously, the Doomsday Clock. That's something I'm going to be buying for sure. That is a great story. And there's some cool, I don't know if I have the, yeah, there's a couple covers in here. This is #3. You can see they give you a couple shots of the covers and stuff, so that's #3. There's a nice, I can't remember what issue it is. If it's for, there's a Joker cover for one of the issues, and it looks really good. So I believe there's going to be, for all the Doomsday Clock upcoming, there's going to be one regular cover and one variant. So two covers to pick up for those. And lastly, for DC, there's the Flash Annual #1 that comes out at the end of January. That starts a new Flash War. Kind of looks like a cool story arc. I might pick that one up. For Image, Walking Dead 175. That comes out January 3rd. If you haven't been buying Walking Dead, that's a good one to pick up because they're starting a whole new bunch of characters and storyline. That's going to be a key one for them. I mentioned Spawn 282. Marvel, as I mentioned earlier, is that Venom Incorporated. That's Alpha. That's the one shot that comes out December 6th, so a couple weeks from now. And then the crossover between Venom and Spider-Man. There is Venom 2-in-1. That's coming out, I think, in December or January. I can't remember exactly when that is. But that's going to be having the Thing and the Flash. So eventually they're going to bring back the Fantastic Four. At least I would hope so. But anyways, that's kind of my my list of books I bought really the last few months and what's coming up in the next few months, which I think are going to be key books to get. Whether or not you like that or not, or pick any of those up, that's up to you. Do your own research, spend wisely. And if they don't go up in value, oh well, that's too bad. I'm buying them anyways. Talk to you later. Bye.